Hello class, so in this video we're going to be talking about polynomial division. So in order to understand that a little bit easier, I wanted to just go over regular division first and then work with it. Alright, so what does this mean? 8 divided by 2 equals 4. Essentially 2 added to itself 4 times makes 8. Alright, how about this though? If we have 8 divided by 3 equals 2 2/3, what we get is technically this. Take 3, add it to itself 2 times, then add 2 parts of 3, and it will get 8. And then you can kind of look at this over here, and that kind of explains a bit of how that's going as well. So we have 2 and then 2/3. Or you can think of 3 over 3 plus 3 over 3 plus 2 over 3. So how many full 1/3 pieces can we get in order to get 8? Alright, so let's look at this then. So how do we do this? Well, what we do is we find out 2 times what gets close to 8. Well, 4 in this case, because 2 times 8 is going to be that. 2 times 4 is going to be 8. Subtract 8, then we get 0. How about with 3? Closest we can get is 6, so we put 2 up there. 3 times 2 is 6. Subtract that, we get 2. We can't really do much more with that, so we can say that we get 2 and 2/3. You can say 2 plus 2/3 as well. So remainder, let's think about that. So if we get a over b, the remainder represents how many parts of b are left after multiplying to get b really close to a. So here we got 3 as close to 8 as possible. Then we had 2 left. So this is the how many parts of 3 are left. So we have 2 parts out of 3 left. So we have 2 plus 2 parts of 3. So how do we do this with polynomials? It's actually not too difficult, so let's just go through it real fast. Here, what we want to do is get x as close to x cubed as possible. So let's multiply by x squared, because that's going to get us close to x cubed. So we get x cubed plus 2x squared. Then you subtract the whole thing. So then x cubed minus x cubed is 0. And then negative 4x squared minus 2x squared is negative 6x squared. Bringing down the 2x. I wouldn't suggest bringing down the 3 just yet. If you have bigger polynomials, then you'll just get things all cluttered if you just bring everything down. You can if you want to, especially if it's like a simpler one like this. Alright, so next thing is now we want to find out how to get that. Negative 6x squared. So negative 6x, if we multiply that to x, we'll get negative 6x squared. So negative 6x squared, and then minus 12x. And you're subtracting that whole thing. So that's gone, that's just 0. 2 minus negative. So keep that in mind. Minus negative is plus. So we get plus 14x and then minus 3. Alright, and then now we need to get 14x. So we can add a 14, because 14 times x is 14x. 14x plus 28. Subtract that whole thing. We get 0, and then negative 3 minus 28 is negative 31. So now we're left with a number. This is actually the remainder. So what we end up with is x squared minus 6x plus 14. And I'll just use another color there. Minus 31 over how many parts were we dividing by? X plus 2. So we got that. Alright, let's look at another one. Let's divide this thing. So, got x plus 3 out here, and then we get 2x cubed plus 4x squared. Gonna make that look better. Plus 0 times x minus 5. Okay, so notice I have that 0 times x there. The reason for that is because It's kind of like when you're dividing something like, I don't know, 51.004. These zeros technically don't matter in a way, but they do. They don't matter, quote unquote, in the sense that they're zeros, but they matter in the sense that they are a place that has a value. In this case, the value is 0. Here, there's a place where the value is 0 times x. So you want to account for that no matter what. So if you're missing like an x squared term here, then like if that thing were gone and you just had 3x cubed minus 5, then you would still do the same thing where you would have 0 times x squared. Since we don't have that, let's not do that. Alright, so what are we going to multiply to get 2x cubed? Well, 2x squared, that works. So we get 2x cubed, and then plus 6x squared. Subtract that whole thing, we end up with, that's 0, and then minus 2x squared. Alright, how are we going to get the next thing? Negative 2x squared. Well, we can subtract 2x, then we get negative 2x squared, plus the minus 6x actually. And this is 0x, so just gonna put that there so we don't forget it. Okay, so that's gonna subtract out, get 0. And then we get 0 minus negative 6x. And then we end up with adding 6x, and then what we can do from there then is take down the 5, and then the question is, what do we need to get that 6? Multiply by 6, get 6x plus 18, subtract that, and then what do we get from there? 5 minus 18, we get negative 23 left. So what we end up with here in the end is 2x squared minus 2x plus 6 minus 23 over x plus 3. And that is what we're going to get there. So just going to put that there, put an equal sign. All right, so this is polynomial division. It's not too different than regular division. So, yeah, it's just the same kind of thing. You just have variables instead of numbers. All right, so that's the end of this video. Hopefully that was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.